trauma. It's something we all go through. I think. Anyways, traumatic moments shape our lives, from how we act in relationships to our relationship with just things. Your parents could have put their financial stress on you from a young age, and now you say things like, man, am I going to make it this month? Or maybe I shouldn't eat to save money. Or you could have just had a bad relationship with your parents where they'd always dismiss your feelings. So now in relationships, when things end up bothering you, all you say is, I'm fine, or it's no big deal. When in reality, you mean pretty much the exact opposite. You just don't want to express your actual feelings since you grew up with them being dismissed and now see it as pointless, so you don't put any effort into expressing them. Causes of trauma aside, we still have to live with it and with the coping mechanisms we formed due to trauma. But sometimes those coping mechanisms are nothing but negative and just bad for your health. Now you might be wondering, oh, but Lay, how exactly do I deal with these unhealthy coping mechanisms? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I got no clue either. Yeah, sorry, but I myself got some unhealthy coping mechanisms and I tend to still participate in them. I'll tell you how I try to work on them, and I am trying to work on them. And really, how I'm doing that is just through slow bits of effort. I just try and be so much more aware of my actions. And if I can catch myself in the middle of doing those unhealthy coping mechanisms, I remind myself, hey, this is unhealthy. And I stop. Sometimes I am not strong enough to stop, though. But I think that's okay. We'll end up going back to our unhealthy mechanisms a lot. And I believe through the process of growing and moving on from unhealthy things, we will at some point end up going back to them until we finally accept that we no longer need them in our life. Now, where exactly am I going with this? Well, I just want to tell you that it's okay. We all got problems, traumas, and things that are particularly negative that have made us into who we are today. But you need to understand the importance of beginning to become more aware of your actions so you don't hurt those you care about. Because your unhealthy coping mechanisms as a result of trauma can and most likely will hurt those you care about. And that's probably the last thing you or anyone else would want to do. Going through traumatic moments sucks, but you can't coast through life with your trauma negatively impacting those you care about, all because you use it as an excuse, because you refuse to move on from it. I understand, it's hard. Lots of shit that people have been through, and lots of shit that I probably can't even compare my shit to. It's tough, it's hard, it's going to be a long and arduous process to move on and grow and learn from all these things that have happened. And some things that have happened have you didn't deserve that. I don't know what else to say. Some things that happened to you, you didn't deserve. And there's nothing that you can even learn from them. But you can't dwell on it. That's the last thing that you should be doing. Don't dwell on the past. Don't dwell on stuff that happened to you, because that will ultimately lead to needless suffering on your part. It will probably, not probably, it does lead to depression. I've gone through shit that I shouldn't have experienced when I was younger, and for the longest, I've held on to that without accepting that it happened. I would always wish that it never happened, but I can't go back in the past and change that. It's impossible. What happened, and that's all there is. I have to move on, I have to grow, and I have to learn from it. I cannot use it as an excuse to hurt others. I cannot use it as an excuse to hurt myself. And can't give you much advice. I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not like a fucking therapist, psychologist, any of that shit. But if something has affected you that badly, just accept that it happened. That's just the first step. Accept that it happened. Don't wish for things to change, because at the end of the day, things just can't change like that. It's impossible. You can't just have things in the past change, no matter how much you want it to happen. Life is pretty fucked up sometimes, and all we can do is live through it and experience it to its fullest. Trauma included in that experience. It's okay, though. Say this again. It's okay. And it's fine to have trauma. It's fine to have these things that negatively impact you, but it is not fine to live acting as if they are still happening to you, especially if it's something that, you know, is way in the fucking past, like years ago. I mean, in my case, I wouldn't consider it a trauma, but definitely something that has impacted my future relationships is that I was a pretty fucking bad person in the past, and that has impacted my relationships now because I still think I'm that bad person when I'm not. I can change, and so can you. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I love you. Leave me a like or a comment, and peace out.